What's up guys, it's SamGolbach. We're back at you with another video, and as you can tell by the title, today is gonna be spooky. Anyway guys, yes, today we're going to be doing a top 5 scary video about doorbell cameras. A lot of weird things can happen on your doorstep without you knowing. But before that, I just want to say happy 4th of July to my fellow American people, and for everybody, thanks so much for watching all the videos recently. It's been awesome. If you've gotten the merch, anything to support, you're doing freaking awesome. Thank you so much. Also, I just want to say I get it right now. It's a very stressful time. In 2020 alone, there's been so many crazy things that happen. It's getting very emotional and it can cause a lot of anxiety, so I hopefully can continue making these videos just to entertain you guys, get you away from the craziness that is reality right now. But yeah, I do want to just remind everybody, take a deep breath. We're gonna get through this. Next year will roll around and things will be better. Things will always get better. Whether or not they get worse beforehand, I don't know. But one day they will be better. So let's move on and let's focus on some horrible things that happened in the past to other people that we can find entertaining. Number 5! It's actually the reason why I was inspired to do this video. About 5 months ago, my friend Reggie, who's editing this video, what's up Reggie? He came over to me and said, yo dude, look at this. And he showed me this Ring camera video of this grandma that we're about to watch. And it was one of the creepiest things that I've ever seen. So I was like, oh god, there's gotta be some more stuff like this. Let's do a top 5 video. 5 months later, here we are. So just to give a little bit of background, there are these doorbells that you can get in modern day society that have cameras on them. They have a little infrared light so that you can see people's faces and they can't really tell that they're being lit up in their face. Anyway, when it detects motion, one starts recording and it also sends a notification to your phone. So all these people are getting notified that people are at their own door. Now the scary part about this next video we're about to watch is the man that lives in this house didn't realize that this old woman was at his door until morning. She came in the very middle of the night to where, you know, the alarms or whatever you have on your freaking phone didn't wake him up. So he woke up in the next morning watching this video. So what's horrifying about this video is, as you can see, there's this crazy lady that's walking up to this random door, and mind you, obviously she does not live there. And she's sitting and staring at this door for a very, very long time and is super reluctant to ring the doorbell. There has to be a time lapse in this video, all because it's taking her so long to ring the doorbell. Now, if you look closely down by her purse, you can see that she's also holding a knife. She must have not had the best intentions. Watch her face. A lot of people think that she's crazy or senile, but it looks like she has a weird intent in her eye. She doesn't even care that people are passing her by in the background. There's other cars. And now, when she gets near enough to ring the doorbell, she hears something behind her. And watch closely. Okay, so I think this is by far the creepiest part of this whole video. And tell me what you guys think about this. But when Reggie showed me this video, this was the main part. It's very, very creepy that this woman is coming to this guy's house in the middle of the night, that she has a knife in her hand. Yeah, all that's creepy. But here is where it gets almost to the point of paranormal. Now, if you look right as she is turning around to look at somebody else, watch the back of her head. It almost seems like there's a second version of herself coming off of her. Like there's some sort of energy or other face behind her that's watching over her shoulder. And when she moves out of the way, you can almost see it behind her. So watch that closely. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if that's just me freaking out, but I've seen a lot of comments about the back of this girl's head and feeling that there's almost something that's coming out from behind her to say, what's up? Alright guys, here's video number 2. This is a girl running up to a doorbell, basically half naked, very, very frantic. And what's creepy about this one is that it's very obvious that this girl has been running house to house, ringing doorbells, knocking on doors, trying to get somebody's attention. What I didn't notice until watching this multiple times was when you watch this video, you can see that this girl's coming up to the doorbell with something that looks like restraints on her arms. It took a very long time for police investigators investigations to figure out all the things about this case. And it delves a lot deeper than just this night. So for a long time, after this girl got this notification that this lady was at her house, it became this creepy case and they had no idea where this girl went. Now later on, she came forward and actually did an interview, so we know more about the situation. This girl didn't end up being a random person. She was actually a local, 32-year-old named Lauren. Now on a separate investigation, police were called to this house. And the guy's name was Collins. They had been called to the house on a suicide watch. Now when they got into the house, they realized that this guy Collins, who lived there, had in fact died of a self-inflicting gunshot wound. And so this ties back to the doorbell because Collins' girlfriend is the girl in this video, frantically running door to door, almost like she's asking for help. Now my initial thought was, oh my god, yeah, so he committed suicide and she was running to go get help or find help. But then what's weird is in her interview, she said that actually she ran away before he committed suicide. Now she woke up in the middle of the night with her boyfriend, this Collins dude, with knees on her chest, throwing clothes down her throat. She was so scared that he was trying to hurt her that she fought him off and ran away. And so it makes more sense why this girl couldn't call the cops, because she probably just ran out, didn't have her phone or anything, was half naked in her bed, and was running down the street just to get some sort of help. Now when they went back to that house, he had then later committed suicide. Makes you think that he didn't really want to get caught. I don't know about you, but if I woke up with a notification with that footage on my phone, I would be scared to death. Now once again, this takes place in the middle of the night. I feel like there's a theme here. This couple was woken up in the middle of the night by their Ring cam notifications or whatever, and they started looking at their camera to see who's at the door. To their surprise, they saw this creepy old grandpa staring into their doorbell. Like what? That'd be so horrifying. So this man walks very quickly straight up to the door, rings the doorbell. So after about 15 seconds, he doesn't get an answer and proceeds to look straight into the doorbell camera as if to see something, to scare someone. I don't know. What's really interesting is this guy is like muttering to himself, like he's talking to himself or whispering some weird words. If you can make them out, please let me know in the comments. What's strange is I feel like he's trying to talk to the person that's through the camera. I don't know if he's crazy, if he's on drugs or whatever, but he stays there and paces back and forth. And as you can see, after a little while, he goes off to the left and starts looking through the windows and looking around frantically. Now, because they were woken up by the Ring notification or whatever, and they went to the door, they were able to talk to this man. And so the residents there began yelling at him. The woman was saying, oh my god, you get off my property, I'm gonna call the cops or something like that. But then this man almost immediately has this alibi, like, oh no, you don't need to do that. I was just going up here to look for my dog, Fido.
Okay, I was just looking for my dog, Fido. Whoa, you don't have to get all like that and stuff, honey.
Well, what? Okay, why are you looking inside a door camera if you're looking for your dog? If you watch the video a little bit longer, you can see with his random pacing motions and his arms flailing everywhere, he's not looking for a dog. Like there's no part of this old man that's looking for a dog, so he's obviously lying. After a bunch of threatening back and forth between the neighbor through the window and this old man, he decides after pacing a little bit longer that he needs to leave. But between this alibi, the staring into the camera, the muttering to himself, the weird arm movements, it kind of makes you wonder, what was he looking for? Was he actually wanting to break in? Because he rang the doorbell and he waited there. And even after he talked to the people, he still walked around. So what was he looking for? Top 2 on the list actually comes down to my hometown, Overland Park, Kansas City. Nothing ever cool happens in Overland Park, so I'm so glad that we got one of the spookiest, creepiest things ever caught on camera. Just kidding, actually this one's pretty tragic, to be quite honest with you. So this footage actually comes from a time when the homeowner wasn't there. He just got a random Ring notification, and after 4 times, he looked down and was like, oh god, everything's on fire at my house. Yeah, imagine getting a notification on your phone from your doorstep and seeing that your neighborhood is on fire. He immediately started running home. However, when you look back at the footage, this is what happened. Apparently, as you can see, the house across the street as well as his own front yard has caught aflame. But that was because behind that house, an apartment complex actually caught on fire and then threw embers all over their neighborhood. So actually this guy with his doorbell camera got off pretty scot-free. As you can tell, only part of his front porch was catching on fire, and luckily he had some good neighbors and they ran over there and tried to put out the flame. This guy got pretty lucky actually. I mean, I can't say so much for the people in the apartment or his neighbor across the street, but this guy seems like he got off scot-free, which is awesome. Okay, wait. Before we get into number 1, we have a couple of honorable mentions because looking through a bunch of Ring camera doorknob videos, some things ended up being pretty funny. So our top 3 honorable mentions, we'll go quick. This one I'm gonna call instant karma, but basically this couple pulls up to a random house in suburbia and tries to steal a bunch of Amazon packages. Now, immediately after she grabs these packages, she ends up slipping and falling and throwing all the packages over the yard, which is fine and hilarious, but she gets served her karma when she can't even get up. She starts screaming out in pain like, oh my god, my freaking ankle, and her guy friend has to run over there and pick her up and then pick up all the little packages. It obviously took so much longer than what they planned, and she got served instant karma by not even making it 5 steps before she fell into the grass. Now sadly this house I don't think got her packages back from this random person. I don't know if they've caught him, but looks like she has to deal with a nasty ankle injury. Alright, this one is kind of paranormal but also hilarious to watch. Basically, this guy looks back on his footage and he sees this body walking across his sidewalk. He doesn't come up to the actual door, but it catches motion. Now, it genuinely does look like someone's walking there and you can hear footsteps, but you can't see the top of this guy's head. Like, what the fuck? You can hear the footsteps, he's definitely walking or whatever, but the entire time, I don't know what the camera did wrong or if this is literally a ghost, but it's just like a pair of legs. Imagine while looking at your phone and just seeing a pair of legs strolling through your neighborhood. Like, this is probably one of the weirder ones I saw. And lastly, honorable mentions, there's this random dude that's like trying to break into this house, and you see him try to like open the door, ring the doorbell, looking around. Like, this guy's obviously super drunk. He's a teenager, probably doesn't want to get caught by his parents or whatever. And then he just ends up jumping the fence, like jumping the gate and just going inside. Hopefully this guy lives here. I think later on they said that whoever this drunk dude was actually knew the people here, so he was just like trying to get in. He was drunk and he just like probably fell over the freaking gate. The things people do to not get caught by their parents. Alright, number 1 on our list is one weird, freaky, but also kind of sad. So as you can see, in the very middle of the night, there's this duo that walks up. This woman and what appears to be her child running up to a random door, knocking frantically, ringing a bunch of doorbells, and you just see this old woman book it. She just flies out of there, leaving this child behind. And it is really, really sad to see this child just get completely abandoned and this lady just run off without a trace. And my first time watching this, I was like, dang, this mother is just like leaving her child and dipping. Like, apparently maybe she doesn't want her child anymore, she can't do the whole adoption thing or whatever. She just books it out of there. Now, because that same story basically blew up all over the place, all over the news and whatnot, this lady actually came forward to tell her actual story because apparently the abandonment story wasn't cutting it for her. She didn't want to have a bad social media rep. Anyway, she came forward in an interview saying that that child was actually not hers, that she was friends with the aunt of that child, and the aunt said, yo, take him to this house, ring the doorbell, and I'll take care of her. And she told this interview that yeah, she was gonna follow through and do exactly what this aunt said, and obviously the aunt had best intentions for the child. So she went over there, rang the doorbell, and she said, yo, it was pretty cold, so I ended up leaving. What? I don't know about you, but someone who's doing a favor for a friend leaving a child at a door does not immediately ring, 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 bye son! To me, that girl is trying to get the fuck out of there. She literally said verbatim, it was cold and I didn't have a sweater. That's why I walked out of there. Girl, you did not freaking walk. You booked that bitch. And it came out that that was not the aunt's house. That was not anyone the aunt knew. That was literally just child abandonment by this aunt or aunt. Anyway, as the update last year said, the child has not gone back to the aunt because they're like, well, this fish freaking abandon you on a doorstep, probably ain't the best idea to give them back. And scene. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you want me to do more top 5 videos, there's like other like security videos and all this random stuff that I've got into because I started searching this stuff up. It's really interesting to me. Either way guys, thank you so much. Please like this video, go grab some merch like the Explorer merch that just came out, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Peace. What? Girl, you did not freaking walk?